Kanye West is definitely one of the most influential artists of all time, right? And because of that, he has put out a number of different albums, some being the greatest albums of all time, and some being AI generated garbage. So Tony Has Died, I'm going to be ranking the Kanye West albums from worst to best. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Isn't this a UFC page? Why are you making a video about Kanye West, right? And it kind of has to stem with the fact that the UFC fight night that's going on this weekend, Roman Dolidze versus Fluffy Hernandez, it's terrible, bro. There's like 4 watchable fights that I have interest in on the card. And I have other interests in the world, man. I love video games. I love music. I love TV shows, movies, all sorts of... I'm an NFL fan. I'm a boxing fan. So there are other things that I enjoy in this world besides the UFC. And I just thought that maybe like once a month I could do a video that's not MMA related. Just talk about some of my other opinions, and maybe y'all could get to know me a little better as a human being as well. I love all of you guys. So let's start with the first entry on this list, the worst Kanye West album of all time, and that is Vultures 2. This album is bad, man. It is completely and utterly horrible. There are songs that have AI lyrics in them. There are songs that are like 1 minute long. There are songs that I don't even like. I couldn't even finish the entire album because it was so bad. Like, it's just complete garbage. Like, the vocals aren't good. The lyrics aren't good. There is nothing good about this album. Vultures 1 is already one of Kanye's worst albums. And for some reason, he felt compelled to make a sequel for it. Who knows why? I don't know what was going through his... there are a lot of crazy things that go through this guy's head. But this was one of the worst ones, surprisingly. That Vultures 1 needed a sequel. Yeah, bro, there's nothing redeemable about this album at all. Yeah, let's just move on to the next one. It's the biggest piece of dog. It's terrible. There's like, if you are actually putting this album on repeat, bro, you need help, because it's shit. Like, at least some of these other albums that come up have 1 song or 2 songs that are redeemable. This album, there is nothing good about this album. All right, so let's move on to the next one, which is Bully. Yeah, I know that this album technically was not released under the name Kanye West. It was released under the name Ye, right? His second album, or not album, his second account that he has where he drops the interesting songs. We'll just say that because I'm not trying to get canceled. The HH, yeah, Bully is not a good album, but there are a couple of songs that I like on it. I like Preacher Man, and I like Beauty and the Beast. Those are good songs, but everything else is just kind of redundant. It's kind of like, okay, we saw everything that you did on Donda 2. Like, this is like basically a Donda 2 but better, if you know what I mean. Like, there are elements on this album that are on the Vultures albums and the Donda albums. This is just like a worse version of those. So yeah, man, Bully is terrible as well. There's also AI verses on this, but I do like Beauty and the Beast, man, the one without AI on it. So yeah, the next album on this list is Donda 2. Donda 2 has like 18, 21 songs on the track list, and it's not good, man. Like, it's just I don't know what Kanye needs to hop off the nitrous, all right, because the quality of music that he's making on the nitrous is abysmal, all right. Like, the nitrous music, Mr. Miyagi's kind of cool, I guess. City of God is cool. 530 is good. Everyone knows True Love. Actually, that's a song he did with XXXTentacion, and he finally put it on an album. I really liked that song when it came out as well. But a lot of this album is just redundant. It's just Kanye repeating himself. Nothing new to the table. No real ideas. Like, the lyrics are non-existent. It's just, garbage. The next album I have on this list is Vultures 1. Now, there are some good songs on Vultures 1. I like Back to Me. It has that Freddie Gibbs verse on it. I like Do It. Burn is good. The actual song Vultures is not bad. I know Carnival gets a lot of hate, but that song was actually pretty good when it came out. It got ruined by that fucking meme. You know exactly which one I'm talking about, with the kids, the TikTok Riz party or whatever. Carnival got ruined by them, but you know, the blue tie, you know, Quandale Dingle and shit, whatever. There's some alright songs on this album. There's also some terrible ones, like Talking with, you know, Hood Rat is probably the worst song Kanye's ever dropped. It's literally just Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat, like literally over and over and over again. It's terrible. There's some questionable lyrics, like, how am I anti-Semitic? I just a Jewish woman. So there are some questionable lyrics on the album, but there are good songs on this album. But the most of the album is completely terrible. All right. So yeah, coming in at number 12 on my list, I got Jesus is King. Jesus is King is it is probably the most unique out of all the Kanye West albums, in the sense that it's not a rap album, it's a gospel album. And there are some things that he did good on the album. Like, I really like Selah. Selah is really good. Follow God is really good. There's another one that I really like a lot. God is really, really good. I like that one. But I just don't think that this album really, like, it's not Kanye, man. It just doesn't, like, this album was originally supposed to be Yahandi, and he scrapped all of Yahandi because he was going through his Super Jesus phase or whatever, and he turned Yahandi into a gospel album. So I don't really think that this is Kanye West at his peak, because Kanye makes rap music first and foremost. He makes all, like, experimental music, and I guess he was trying to be experimental in this album because there are a couple of good track lists on it. But overall, I just don't like a lot of this, not because of its like relation to Jesus. I actually think I have Donda, the other gospel album, a lot higher than some people would put it, but I just think he kind of missed the mark on, like, he has that one song about being closed on Sunday because you my Chick-fil-A. Like, come on, bro, no one's bumping that. And ultimately this album kind of just turned out to be corny as fuck for the most part. So there are good tracks on this album, but for the most part, I don't really go back to this at all. So yeah, the next album on the list is Watch the Throne. I like Watch the Throne, but not really. No Church in the Wild is really good. The song about people in Paris is really good. Prime Time is not bad at all. Welcome to the Jungle, New Day. There are definitely some songs on this album that aren't bad, but I feel like this album is Kanye kind of just throwing his creativity down the drain, because he's doing an album with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's trying to be mainstream. This is around the same time Kanye is doing Yeezus, and so a lot of what he's doing with Yeezus, the sound gets blended onto this, but he also has to try to make it seem like normal, if you know what I mean. Like, Yeezus was Kanye's most experimental album, and this is like trying to take the elements of Yeezus that made it good and trying to like make it a clean version of it, because you're doing it with Jay-Z, who's in the mainstream and stuff. There's just a lot of songs on this album that are forgettable. Like, are you really listening to Who Gon' Stop Me or Ham or Illest Like, there's a bunch of songs on this that are just like should have been on other like track lists, or maybe should have been dropped as singles, but this is like an NPC ass song, like, album. Yeah, man, this album, I might honestly drop it below Jesus is King, because I think a lot of the songs on this, there are some hype songs. Like, this is like a club, like trying to take Yeezus and make it into club music, but with Jay-Z, and it just doesn't work, bro. But you know, and also it takes some of the elements from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but he takes like the worst elements of it. Like, it takes the elements from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like, with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, it seems so grandiose, so epic, and this kind of feels like you're eating cotton candy at the fucking at the carnival. You know what I mean? Like, this is like tacky. So this is probably going to be my hottest take of the whole video. I don't think Kids See Ghosts is that good of an album, man. It has songs like Reborn on it, which are really, really good. But it's such a short album. There's only 7 songs on it, right? And for me to put this album higher than I have it, it needs to have like 5 out of the 7 songs need to be perfect. And I just don't feel that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure it's on the song Fire, where it's like that guy screaming, or there's like a song of somebody like fake laughing on it. I get it's supposed to sound like chaotic or whatever, but I just don't like this album, man. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but I don't like the Kid Cudi humming. It sounds very, very good and stuff, but I feel like his album is lacking lyrical substance in it. And yeah, man, I just don't like Kids See Ghosts, bro. Like, it's just like, in my opinion, it's overrated as fuck, bro. Like, the actual song Kids See Ghosts isn't that good. Cudi Montage is alright. Fire is alright. Fourth Dimension is alright. Feel the Love is good, but is it really like all that good? You know, like this album's just alright, you know? Like, anybody else made this album, you'd be like, holy shit, this is crazy. But like, Kanye has so many like perfect albums and perfect, like, you know, it's Kanye West, man. Like, you have to rank his shit higher, you know? So yeah, man, I just don't think that Kids See Ghosts is all that. I think it's a little overrated, you know? The next album that I got on my list is 808 and Heartbreak, right? I think that this album is probably Kanye's most influential album because it kind of took rap outside of the whole murder, guns, shooting shit, and it kind of opened up the genre to be more soft, you know? I guess not like, you can tell your truth. You don't have to act gangster all the time in every song. You can speak legitimately. And I feel like this is kind of what this album did, and it also kind of added the 808 beat. And yeah, this album is super influential, and I think that I like my favorite songs off of this have got to be Heartless, Amazing, Love Lockdown, Paranoid, Street Lights, Coldest Winter. Those are all really, really good songs. Say You Will isn't that good in my opinion. See You in My Nightmares, it's trash, bro. I love Lil Wayne, but that song is not good. Pinocchio Story, it's alright, you know? There's some songs on the album that I don't think are good, but there are songs on the album that I think are really, really good. And overall, I think 808 and Heartbreaks is probably Kanye's most influential besides Yeezus, but at the same time, I just think that it lacks that pop, that one. I mean, it's got Heartless, yeah, but I feel like it's lacking another one right after it, you know what I mean? Like, there's only, like, when you think of 808s and Heartbreaks, you think, oh, it's Heartless, and you don't really think anything else, because a lot of it is filler. So yeah, but he made this album right after his mother passed away. So yeah, Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreaks. The next album I got on here, I got Donda. Yeah, man, I rate Donda higher than 808s and Kids See Ghosts, bro. I really, really like Donda a lot. I think it was the last time Kanye really coherently put an album together in a way that is listenable. In a way that has a structure, you know what I mean? The song Hurricane with The Weeknd is really good. Moon is really good. Life of the Party is fire. Off the Grid, Jail, Praise God, No Child Left Behind, Remote Control, 24, Junior. You know, these are all songs that are really, really good. But there are a bunch of songs on this album that are just filler. So I understand if you have the album a little bit lower, but for me, I remember the listening experience for this album where he did all the rollouts for it. He was doing those stadiums where he would play the song, and then the next time he would go to a stadium, it would be different, or there would be a song missing, or he would play the clean version. It's definitely something that needs to be talked about, is like, this album has no cussing in it at all. All the cuss words are bleeped, and I don't know. I don't really take anything away from that per se. I think they should have done a clean version and a not clean version. But Kanye was in his, you know, it kind of adds an aesthetic to the album that he's trying to be clean and respect his mother in the album, but there are some super sad and emotional moments on the album, and there's some hype moments on the album. Like, this album has everything you want on it, man. The next one on this list, we got Yeezus. And I'll say this before I start talking about Yeezus: every album from this point forward is a masterpiece to me. Yeezus, Yay, Graduation. I'm not going to say the order of everything, but every album from this point forward is not a perfect album, but it is damn near as close as you can get to a perfect album as possible. So Yeezus, man, let's talk about it. Super psychedelic, experimental rap fusion album-esque thing, you know. On Sight, Black Skinhead, I Am God, New Slaves, Hold My Liquor, Guilt Trip, Bound To, Blood on the Leaves. These are all phenomenal songs. It's a 10-song album. I think there's only 2 misses on the entire album, with Send It Up and I'm In It. I don't really like either of those songs, but this is an album that I listen to every time I'm in the gym and I'm pumping iron. It just gets me fucking hype. And you just want to move your head when you're listening to this shit, bro, because it's fire. This album is just, it's fire. It's good as fuck. I don't really know how to articulate my thought process going behind it, but Kanye is super vulgar on this album, and it will like switch in between him being, it's about him living this fucking his version of his fantasy, right? Where he's just doing sex, party, drugs, women all day, throwing money up in the clubs, going crazy all the time. And then he meets a woman, and that's where the calmness of the album comes in, where it's like all the angelic singing, like in Bound 2, or at the end of I think On Sight has some of it as well. New Slaves, the end of New Slaves, that's where the angelic part comes in, where they're trying to drag him back into that family life, where it's kind of like the same on The Life of Pablo, where it's like family or this, family or fame or whatever. It's like that, but it's with a different kind of flair to it. So I really like Yeezus a lot. Can't put it above the ones coming up, because dude, Send It Up is terrible. I'm In It is terrible. Blood on the Leaves, it's alright. Black Skinhead, it's great, but there are some things on this album that are like, and there's some things on this album that are like really good. So the next album on the list, I got Ye. And I think a lot of people kind of underrate Ye when it comes to Kanye West's discography, because I feel like in this album, he's simply being the most honest with his audience out of any other album that he has, right? And he starts the album with the song I Thought About Killing You, where it's a terrible song, right? But it's not really a song, it's more of just an intro into the album. And he just talks about, quite frankly, just killing somebody, like someone he hates, you know? And so then the next album it goes to Yikes. And I think all of the songs on this album are perfect, man. But the reason I have it lower than the other ones are because there's only 7 songs. So I love Yikes, All Mine, Wouldn't Leave, No Mistakes, Ghost Town, Violent Crimes. They're all great. Whoa. They're all great songs, man. And Kanye is being the most open and honest in those albums. I think, frankly, out of all of his albums, where he's just talking about his mental pressures that he has to go through, what it's like having a daughter and being worried about her and mental health. And I think it's a great album, and I think Kanye is his most open and honest on the album. So yeah, I really like Ye a lot. Coming in at number 5 on the list, I got Late Registration. This album is phenomenal, man. It is as close as you can get to a perfect album with this many songs on it. You got Touch the Sky, Gold Digger, Drive Slow, My Way Home, Crack Music. You got Addiction. You got Diamonds from Sierra Leone. We got We Major. We got Hey Mama. We got Celebration. There are no misses on this shit, man. And it's just Kanye basically talking about dealing with the pressures of life and whatnot, and with his addiction and just society and all that kind of stuff. Not to say, oh, he's talking about society. You know, it's Kanye, all right? But I feel like this version of Kanye was at his creative peak, where it's like he has all of these ideas floating around about what he wants to talk about and what he wants to make his music about, and he executes them so well in Late Registration, he just talks about like gold, like women chasing his money, trying to reach the top, like this is what his music's about. So this is where Kanye is at his most like creative musically, this and the next one, and I think that he executes it really well in these next two albums. So kind of similar to what I was talking about in the first one, we got the College Dropout, which is number 4 on this list. And the College Dropout is basically just a better version of Late Registration for me. It has We Don't Care, All Falls Down, Spaceship, Jesus Walks, Get 'Em High, slow jams. And one thing I will say about College Dropout is it has a lot of skits on it, and it does get kind of annoying when you're listening to the album in order. But this you have to listen to the skits when they're like telling a story or whatever. I just skip the skits now because I'm just trying to listen to the music. I'm trying to get to the meat of it, obviously. But it basically just talks about how being in school is kind of useless because it takes away. He basically says that like it takes away your masculinity to go to school and blah 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 blah. He talks about basically the need to get educated in order to make money, but once you get educated, it kind of strips you of your identity that you formed before you were who you were, like basically. And then in the end, he ends up dropping out because he wants to stay the person he was. So there's songs like Slow Jams with Jamie Foxx on it, Jesus Walks, really good, Spaceship, already talked about all this, but I just think that everything that he does on the College Dropout is better than what he does on Late Registration. He does it better. And the next one, I got number 3 on my list, so we're entering the top 3. The Life of Pablo, man. T-Lop. This album is just, it is all over the place. It's like the perfect example of chaotic, like, the album is chaos, bro, because it goes from Ultralight Beam, which is like a gospel song, to Father Stretch My Hands, which has one of the best bass drops in history. Then it goes to a fucking Panda remix with Designer. Then it goes to a Taylor Swift diss track. And then it's just so all over the place, but the beats on the album are so good. The lyricism is fire. Everything about this album, it is just such a good album, and it's really just about kind of the same thing that Yeezus is about, where it's like picking between family and fame and the good life and, living at the highest, right? And the album switched from that, where it's like Ultralight Beam, good. Father Stretch My Hands, crazy. Part 2, crazy. Famous, it's like, okay, it just like switches back and forth, low lights to highlights. There's like a song about himself, the I Love Kanye rap. That's not really that good. But my point still stands that there are so many good songs and beats on this album. It's an iconic album. Saint Pablo, he has the song No More Parties in LA with Kendrick, which is fucking, he out raps Kendrick Lamar on his own song, which is crazy. Wolves, Facts, FML, like this, like I can just keep going, man. This is a fucking 20-song album and there's like one miss on it, so you gotta have The Life of Pablo in your top 5 at the very least, in my opinion. But the next 2 albums I think are even better. So number 2 on my list, please don't click off the video, I got My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Now, I do think that there is one song that's a miss on this album, which is why I can't put it above the other album, because I think that this album is a 9.8 out of 10, and I think that the next album is a 10 out of 10. So honestly, bro, if you want to, I switch back and forth. Sometimes I think that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is the best Kanye album, and some other days I think that the next album is the best Kanye album. But let me explain my reasoning for having My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy here. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is a fucking masterpiece, to say the fucking least, right? Dark Fantasy is amazing. Gorgeous is amazing. Power, All of the Lights, the interlude to All of the Lights is amazing. Monster is alright. Like the Nicki Minaj verse on Monster, I don't really care for that at all, but it's still a good song beforehand, right? So Appalled is really, really good, but I just feel like the song goes on a little too long sometimes. Like, are you really listening to the fucking RZA and Swiss Beats part of the song? Like, I kind of just get to the Pusha T part and then skip, right? Devil in a New Dress, probably, like, in my opinion, Kanye's best song. I just think it just, like, feels so luxurious listening to the fucking song. You know what I mean? Like, the meme with Rick Ross, he's like, they literally made it's got the best feature of all time. It's like the best beat, and it's got the best feature on it, and just the lyrics. I just think that Devil in a New Dress is probably Kanye's best song, and then right after that, you got Runaway. I just, there are songs on this album, like Lost in the World and Who Will Survive in America, like, they're alright. There's some songs on this that are like, it's alright, But the songs that are on here, like Dark Fantasy, Power, All of the Lights, Devil in a New Dress, Runaway, they elevate the album to a new level, So, yeah, I gotta have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy at number 2, but there are just some elements of it that are but it's still a really, really good album. One of the greatest albums of all time. And ultimately, the album is just about luxury and power and all that kind of stuff. What it means to be a fucking elite, And you feel like that when you listen to the fucking song. You just feel like you're powerful. You're on top of the world. You run this shit, That's what the album's about, and it fucking makes you feel that way too, so, yeah. And number 1 on this list, man, I got Graduation by Kanye West. I think that this is a top 5 album of all time in terms of all albums ever. I think that this album, the beats on it, the lyrics on it, everything on this album just flows together so beautifully. The flow of the album is amazing. Everything about this album, the track list, there is not a single skip on this album except for Barry Bonds. But there is not a single skip on this album except for Drunken Hot Girls. All right, there's 2 skips on the album, right? But I think that everything else on the album, Good Morning, Champion, Stronger, I Wonder, Good Life, Can't Tell Me Nothing, those are all songs in a row, bro. And those songs are all fucking, like, those are really good songs. Like, you just, I don't know. And then you got Everything I Am, Flashing Lights, when it first dropped was crazy. Like, the first time I ever heard Flashing Lights, I was just like, how did someone think about this, man? Like, it is actually crazy. Homecoming is really, really good. Big Brother, Good Night with Mos Def in it, phenomenal. And, Stronger, Stronger is like one of those songs that your fucking mom knows about, you know what I mean? It's got the remix of Daft Punk in it. Like, your mom will put on Strong. She's like, oh, let's listen to a rap song. Let's put on Stronger, This album is iconic. The beats are phenomenal. The lyrics are phenomenal. The message in the album is great. And it's just kind of about putting one foot forward, Like, waking up and doing life, So I fuck with the album, man. I really love Graduation a lot, so... Yeah, that's my list. I got Graduation at number 1, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy at number 2, The Life of Pablo at number 3, The College Dropout at 4, Late Registration 5, Ye at 6, Yeezus 7, Donda 8, 808s at 9, Kids See Ghosts at 10, Watch the Throne at 11, Jesus is King at 12, Vultures 1 at 13, Donda 2 at 14, Bully at 15, and Vultures 2 at 16. Hopefully you guys like the video. I like to kind of just do my own thing with the channel. Like, I know it's just mostly MMA related stuff that I do, but I do have other interests. I am a human being, I guess. I think it'd be kind of fun to do a non-MMA related video every once in a while. Just see if you guys like it. Maybe it will hit the algorithm. I'll get some new people. They'll like the sport of MMA because they just like my content or whatever, but... yeah, pretty random of me to be posting this, I guess, but I hope you like it a lot, man. So please like the video. It does so much for the channel. You have no idea. It really helps me out a lot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.